Go back to the basement.
Names, I'll get the card.
That works.
Yeah, the lady with the Elgin driving me nuts. She's trying to get me to start live streaming some stuff for her.
Are they doing the award over there? I don't know where he's at either.
Yes.
Oh, they're gonna do the award.
All right. So, thank you for taking time to be here. Today, we're going to recognize the hard work and dedication of leadership. So, we've got a couple of gifts, one from awards, one from Reynolds and MRC West, and then our leader, Mayor Stan Booker from Lodge, has something he'd like to present as well. I thought to start this out, I would quote Fire Station number 28. No one cares how much you know until they know you care. And I picked that because I could not think of a more fitting statement and sentiment to encapsulate Sergeant Major Jackson's leadership and his tenure here at Fort Sill and Reynolds. He absolutely brought the level of expertise that we needed. He is a nurse by trade and fit very well into our hospital operations and was able to mentor our soldiers, our young officers, and our civilians on what quality looks like when it comes to health. From an operational standpoint, he is very impressive. I joke that when he wears his mess dress, he can't even bend his arms because he's got so much stripes there. He has deployed so many times with DOE operational units and caches. And what that translated to was exceptional competence and mentorship and coaching to our soldiers in their field crafts, in their warrior camps, battlefields, and competitions. And it absolutely was valuable. But really, what I have had a front row seat to for the better of 2 years, and what really has come out in conversations amongst our staff in the last 2 weeks as they said their goodbyes and farewells, it's really his personal touch and his personal engagement and the personal relationships that he went out of his way time and time again to establish with our soldiers, with those who were excelling, those who were struggling at times. We have a lot of young officers and junior officers who come to Fort Sill, and he provided exceptional mentorship to them. And our civilian corps, our mighty civilian corps, we have 5 times as many civilians as we do active duty, and he is absolutely a tremendous leader and friend for them. Not only here at work, but in the community. We often spend after hours with their families, celebrating them, coaching and mentoring the youth at our local high schools and the local universities, doing the cross-country training. You name it, he really invested in this community. So at this time, we would like to acknowledge that investment to our community and say thank you.
Attention to orders. The Meritorious Service Medal is awarded to Command Sergeant Major Stanley Jackson for meritorious service while serving as the Command Sergeant Major for Reynolds Army Health Clinic in Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Command Sergeant Major Jackson's leadership, expertise, professionalism, and selfless service were instrumental to the continued success of the organization's mission. His exemplary performance of duty is in keeping with the highest traditions of military service and reflects great credit upon himself, Medical Readiness Command West, the Army Medical Department, and the United States Army. Signed, Yolanda R. Summons, Brigadier General, United States Army, Commanding General.
It's a good thing we practice.
Sergeant Major, sir, that camera too, please. That's live stream. My apologies.
He's got the deals right here. I'm going to turn it over to Mayor Booker.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Colonel. So, Major Jackson, it's such a pleasure to be here, and it's bittersweet because we hate to see you go. And we know that's the way it works in the Army. We appreciate you coming here, and I'm going to tell you, it's been amazing to me as your time here. I've seen you out so much in the community. And what I give is real support that is advice, and nothing says Fort Sill like the house. Commissioned by local artists and all over the world. And what I give this for is community engagement, okay? Making the communities come together. And your presence is what makes it happen. I see you every day. You always come up and speak. You're the guy. So let me read this. Command Sergeant Major Stanley Jackson, Command Sergeant Major Reynolds, Army Health Code. In recognition of your exemplary service to our country and your community engagement in what Fort Sill advises to the highest level of sub-command. Thank you so much. You're supposed to be
Well, I have to say I'm truly humbled, especially when we had the farewell of the many words that people spoke. I would prefer to be in the background, but I know sometimes I have to get out in front and definitely lead. But I think we have the greatest impact behind closed doors when people can't see you and you're doing the work and trying to help people, make people better. And I think that's what we make. I think everybody out here, that's where you make your money, and just trying to help people. And Mayor Stan Booker, again, I just thank you for everything that you've done, even coming to speak at our ball. That added a special touch to our ball. And again, I always see you, and I do try to at least say hey when I do see you out and about around the city of Law. But it's been great working with everyone here. It's definitely bittersweet. I'm gonna miss you all. I'm gonna miss each and every one of you all, and I just truly enjoy building the relationships here at Fort Sill. And I tell people all the time, when they told me I was coming to Fort Sill, I was like, man, why in the world am I going to Fort Sill? But when I got here, Mike is one of the people that I met in the first 2 weeks, walking up Mount Scott, and then since then we've been friends, and we'll be friends forever. And then, sir, again, this organization. It makes my job easy when you know that we have a commander, a leader who truly cares about people. And I'm telling you, it makes my job easier. And the things that you do for this organization is great. And the presence that you have is going on, even though you're so busy, but still going out, taking time with everybody, not just particular people, but everybody across the board in the organization. And I tell you, it's been a pleasure serving with you. Like I said, it's bittersweet. I really miss you. That's pretty much it. So thank you all for coming out today.
showed up. So
I know
that's a
who
good
he
thing.
is, so if I see him,
Where's he from? Macri right here.
okay, that's
He's
easy.
tall guy. He's
Oh yeah, no, I know who he is.
Do that, so, okay.
We, I saw her over there. Like, yeah, I said, so that's what I found out. So.
Sir, good morning. Oh, what's going on? Hello.
Sounds like that's great.
We changed it. It's kind of fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony will begin in 2 minutes. Please move to your seats and silence all cell phones and electronic
It's
devices.
just awkward, you know?
You got a name somewhere?
Because I know what right to do.
You're gonna hear.
We in the back, the no name people.
Absolutely. I'll come around here. Come on, Salt Man.
Well, Max, what's up,
Hey.
bro? How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Handsome man, how are you? Doing well, man.
What's going on?
I know. We'll drive these 6 sessions quick. Okay. Wet,
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Colonel Jason Ferguson, the commander of Reynolds Army Health Clinic, welcome to the Change of Responsibility ceremony. Today, Command Sergeant Major Stanley Jackson will relinquish responsibility as the Reynolds Army Health Clinic Command Sergeant Major to Command Sergeant Major Michael Tatu. We would like to extend a sincere welcome to our distinguished guests. Among our distinguished guests for today's ceremony are Major General Winston Phil Brooks, Commanding General, United States Army Fire Center of Excellence and Fort Sill, and his wife Lori. Command Sergeant Major Neil H. Sartain, Command Sergeant Major, United States Army Fire Center of Excellence and Fort Sill. Mayor Stan Booker, Mayor, City of Lawton. Dr. Alvin Peterson, Deputy to the Commanding General, United States Army Fire Center of Excellence and Fort Sill. Command Sergeant Major Deidre Blash, Command Sergeant Major, Medical Readiness Command, West. Colonel Mike Bearfield, Chief of Staff, United States Army Fire Center of Excellence and Fort Sill. At this time, Command Sergeant Major Tatu is presenting a bouquet of yellow roses to Mrs. Tina Tatu, welcoming her to Reynolds Army Health Clinic. Yellow is the color of new beginnings and symbolizes her arrival to Reynolds Army Health Clinic. In time, Tina's rosebuds will blossom, as will her relationship with the soldiers and their families at Reynolds. Major Tatu is also presenting his daughters, Natalie and Nicole, with gifts to show Reynolds Army Health Clinic's appreciation. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the invocation given by Chaplain Francis Boting and remain standing for the arrival of the official party and honors to the nation.
Please join me in prayer in your faith as I pray in mine. Almighty and gracious God, we gather here today in a moment of transition, marking the change of responsibility between two dedicated leaders at Reynolds Army Health Clinic. We thank you for the service, wisdom, and steadfast leadership of Command Sergeant Major Stanley Jackson. His dedication and commitment to soldiers, staff, and mission of this clinic has been a testament to selfless service. As he departs from this role, we ask that you continue to guide and bless him in the next chapter of his journey. Today, we also welcome Command Sergeant Major Michael Tatu. Lord, grant him strength, wisdom, and a servant heart as he assumes this new responsibility. May he lead with integrity, compassion, and a vision that upholds the highest standards of care and readiness for those entrusted to this clinic's mission. Bless all who serve here, leaders, providers, and staff who work tirelessly to heal, support, and care for our soldiers, families, and community. May their hands bring healing, their hearts remain steadfast, and their spirit be uplifted in the service of others. Lord, we place this ceremony, this leadership transition, and this clinic under your watchful care. May we always be faithful stewards of the mission entrusted in us. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
The non-commissioned officer in charge for today's ceremony is First Sergeant Akins. The ceremony will begin when the NCOIC commands the unit to be brought to attention.
Sir.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, their bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. The change of responsibility is a simple yet traditional event that is rich with symbolism and heritage. The key to the ceremony is the passing of the brigade colors. The very soul of a military unit is symbolized by the colors under which it fights, for they represent not only the lineage and honors of the unit, but also the loyalty and unity of its soldiers. The custodian of the colors is the Command Sergeant Major, who is the senior enlisted soldier in the unit and principal advisor to the commander. First Sergeant Akins will now pass the colors to Command Sergeant Major Jackson, who will in turn pass the colors to Colonel Ferguson. The passing of the colors symbolizes the relinquishment of responsibility and authority from Command Sergeant Major Jackson. Colonel Ferguson will now pass the colors to Command Sergeant Major Tatu, charging him with the responsibility and authority that comes with his position. Charge orders for Command Sergeant Major Michael J. Tatu. Let it be known from this day forward that the commander of Reynolds Army Health Clinic has placed special trust and confidence in your patriotism, dedication, integrity, and leadership abilities. Therefore, you are hereby appointed as the Command Sergeant Major of Reynolds Army Health Clinic. Command Sergeant Major Tatu will now return the colors to First Sergeant Akins. Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of Reynolds Army Health Clinic, Colonel Jason Ferguson.
Well, good morning. What a beautiful Oklahoma morning. I'm going to give the Sergeants Major credit for doing a change of responsibility in the spring rather than in the dead of July, so well done. Major General Mrs. Brooks, Sergeant Major Sartain, Dr. Peterson, Command Sergeant Major Blash, Sergeant Major Macri, Mayor Booker, Councilwoman Hankins, Colonel Bearfield, my fellow brigade commanders, the garrison commander and Sergeant Major, all of our frontier friends, thank you very much for coming to join us this morning and supporting Reynolds Army Health Clinic, its soldiers, and these two great leaders. Before I proceed, I definitely want to give credit where it's due. I'd like to thank Chaplain Boateng for our invocation this morning. I'd like to give a hearty thanks to Ms. Paulette Anderson. Ma'am, as always, that was super. And I would be remiss if I didn't thank all of our soldiers and staff for their hard work and detail to make this ceremony a reality. If you would, please give these soldiers and staff a round of applause. It is with immense pride that we recognize two incredible senior leaders in Army medicine this morning. And really, it's their service to the soldiers, the officers, and the civilians at Reynolds and at Fort Sill. We say thanks and farewell to Command Sergeant Major Stanley Jackson, who has led as the Senior Enlisted Advisor at Reynolds for the past 2 years. And he has led with sincerity, calmness, humor, and absolutely $1 million smile. And while they could not be with us here today, although I know they wanted to, I'd like to publicly thank members of the Jackson family, who I know have been a continual foundation of support for him. His children, Skylin, Isaiah, and Summer, as well as his mother, Miss Gladys Jackson, and his sisters, Miss DeAndre Okeezy and Miss Laura Hill. To all of you who are watching online, I want you to please know that you have been a frequent part of our conversations each week, and that you have absolutely been pillars of love and strength that has been invaluable during his last 2 years. In today's change of responsibility, we welcome Command Sergeant Major Michael Tatu and his family to the Reynolds family. Joining Sergeant Major is his wife Tina and their children Natalie and Nicole. The family's in the process of transitioning to warmer and much drier weather coming from Washington State and JBLM. Right now, Natalie and Nicole are going to finish school over the next couple months in Washington and then eventually join up here later this summer.
Natalie is truly going to finish school. She is a senior and is going to graduate in just a couple of months. Congratulations, Natalie. Finish strong. Family, please know we're very excited to have you join us. Ladies and gentlemen, while this ceremony recognizes these two talented senior leaders, really what it is an overall celebration of the history and the strength of this unit and the soldiers that you see in front of you and those that are still working within the walls delivering patient care this morning. The best way that I could convey the significance of the role and the scope of these two leaders is to really highlight the work of our soldiers, our officers, and civilians to really meet our two core missions. And that first mission takes place within the walls of this building and about a half dozen others on post. Very plainly, we provide health care to nearly 50,000 trainees, soldiers, and family members to keep them ready every year. To provide you with some context to that statement, I've got a few stats for you. 20,000 urgent care visits this last year. Just over 18,000 visits to our troop medical clinic alone. Our radiology team, the mighty radiology team, performed and read over 22,000 x-rays and just under 4,000 MRI studies. Our three amazing pharmacy teams dispensed, get this, 400,000 prescriptions in the last 12 months. And may I remind everyone that in their line of work, there is no tolerance for error. It's a pretty impressive feat right there. My last stat that I'll share with you, I am absolutely part of this statistic. 14,500 soldiers were given a sporting chance to qualify at the weapons range thanks to the optometry clinic and our optical fabrication shop who made over 29,000 pairs of glasses. Ladies and gentlemen, our second mission, it is sacred and it is vastly different. It is to ensure our soldiers, our NCOs, and our officers are ready to deploy to any armed conflict so that they can uphold their pledges to our combat arms brothers and sisters that they'll be taken care of and that we will conserve the fighting strength. That mission requires a whole different focus, and for many of our soldiers and officers, an entirely different skill set. Moreover, it requires a much different mentality compared to what we do within the safety of these walls every day. Overall, it requires us to be vigilant and to train. Training out in the field, training in the lanes, training under stress. And balancing those two missions are difficult, but it is that balance that is the center of what an MTF Command Sergeant Major does. It is in that role that Sergeant Major Jackson has served with exceptionally well. In my remarks at his farewell this week, my summary statement to him was that he was the exact leader that Reynolds needed these past 2 years, given the challenges that it were presented. He was also the partner in command that I needed as well. With his leadership, our soldiers have absolutely shined, whether that be at work in the clinic, on the field, at competitions, at BLC, right, Sergeant Major Wheeler, at promotion boards, or life in general. As one of our soldiers said this past week, he was always there. At re-enlistments, promotions, ACFTs, field trainings, farewells, whatever was going on. He never ran out of time to talk to people. He always had a positive attitude and could always seemingly muster an infectious smile. He made sure to listen first before he passed judgment or spoke. And what's incredible is I don't think I ever heard him swear one time in the last 2 years. And thinking back to some of our lowest days together where things just kept seeming like they were stacking up, I think the worst that I heard come out of his mouth was, "Dang, that really sucks." All in all, he was a role model, an encourager, a wise teacher, and like I said, he was present. A proud nurse by trade, get this, Command Sergeant Major Jackson has been selected as the next Garrison Sergeant Major at Kwajalein Atoll within the Marshall Islands of the Pacific. It is a true testament to his leadership and his service. If you don't know where Kwajalein is, I'm going to tell you that it is a 1 mile by 3 mile island. It's exactly halfway between Hawaii and the Philippines. which is really ironically perfect because as he grew up a very proud Texan, and he is absolutely a gifted ex-collegiate runner in cross country, he did not care for swimming much growing up. Sergeant Major, we are all wishing you the best on your journey and challenge ahead. For me, thank you for being a tremendous battle buddy. I have thoroughly enjoyed my time with you. And as I've said earlier this week, I am glad to now call you Stanley and friend. Sergeant Major Michael Tatu comes to Reynolds from the mighty and high op-tempo 62nd Med Brigade at JBLM. And what I can tell you after knowing him for 2 weeks is he is extremely well qualified, he is polished, and he is versatile. At the 62nd Med Brigade, he not only served as the Op Sergeant Major and then the Clin Op Sergeant Major, but he also filled in for several months as the field hospital's interim senior enlisted advisor. I could go on, but probably what is most important and relevant to this crowd, and will likely give him the most street cred of all, is that Sergeant Major Tatu is no stranger. Many years ago, he started out here at Fort Sill as a 13 Bravo cannon crew member, field artilleryman, before he reclassed to a 91 Whiskey. I thought that would at least get a round of applause right there. Ladies and gentlemen, his story is one of being a full circle, and I'm entirely confident that he will be the Sergeant Major to bring out the best in Reynolds for the years to come. Sergeant Major Tatu, Tina, kids, we're excited to have you here. To all of Team Fort Sill Lawton, thank you again for your time and for joining us this morning. Fire strong, first to fire, combat ready care, this will defend.
Ladies and gentlemen, the outgoing Command Sergeant Major Stanley Jackson.
So when I first started preparing my speech and I did my first run through, it was actually about 15 minutes. So I had to do a lot of cutting. There's a lot of people that I won't thank in here, but it's a lot of people who had great impact on my time while I was here, and I really do appreciate all of you all. Major General Brooks, Mrs. Brooks, Command Sergeant Major Sartain, Mayor Booker, Dr. Peterson, Command Sergeant Major Blash, Command Sergeant Major Mackery, Councilwoman Hankins, and Colonel Barefield, distinguished guests, family, friends, thank you for attending today's Change of Responsibility. Chaplain Botain, thank you for the thoughtful invocation. Mrs. Anderson, thank you for the awesome rendition of the national anthem. As always, you sound great. I thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for the opportunity to have served as the Reynolds Army Health Clinic Command Sergeant Major. Without him, I know that I wouldn't be here today. Major General Brooks, Command Sergeant Major Sartain, thank you for your leadership in ensuring that Reynolds was fully integrated into the Red Leg community. So really appreciate that. Brigadier General Simmons, Command Sergeant Major Francis, thank you for your leadership and your mentorship. Command Sergeant Major Blash, I know you just came on board as the MRC West Command Sergeant Major, but your excellent leadership precedes you. I know that you will continue to elevate the MRC West. Fellow command teams, it has been a pleasure working with you, and thank you for all the support that you have given to Reynolds. Mayor Booker, thank you for cultivating a strong partnership with the Fort Sill community. Your leadership has strengthened the Lawton-Fort Sill bond, and I want you to know that is something kind of wonderful. As the greatest military in the world, we serve others, but most importantly, we serve our families. And the strength of our families is the source of our nation's strength. Summer, Isaiah and Skyland, I'm proud of each of you and proud to be your dad. Thank you for your support, and I love you. You continue to amaze me with the many accomplishments that you have accomplished. Isaiah and Sky, I look forward to seeing both of you at your graduations in May and then also June. Mom, DeAndre, Laura, I thank you for the support and prayers for this organization and myself. I know that you had planned to be here today, but no worries, I'll see you guys soon. And Mom, I can't wait to get home to be able to celebrate your 87th birthday, just a couple of weeks from now. And Laura, I just want to let you know that we're praying for you and we're wishing you a speedy recovery. I love you all. Command Sergeant Major Retired Batiste, thank you for your continued mentorship and your honesty. And by the way, today, I'm not giving any flowers out. Command Sergeant Major Retired Hell and Mrs. Hell, thank you for your support and your mentorship as well. Pastor Shaw, Mrs. Shaw, and my Zoe Christian family, I just want to thank you for your spiritual leadership and also for keeping me covered and keeping this organization covered. So I truly appreciate that. So Pastor Love, Mrs. Love, Charity, Mike and Kathy, and also Arthur, I just truly thank you all for the friendship that you provided. And I didn't know either of y'all until I got here, but you guys have truly been a blessing to my life. So I truly thank you, and may God continue to bless you. To the command group and the company command teams, both past and present, you led with distinction, even through complex challenges, and I truly thank you for that. I had the opportunity to serve with two great commanders while here at Ratch. Colonel Dan Bryden, thank you for your leadership, and thank you for leading with compassion and taking care of Reynolds while building a cohesive team. Colonel Ferguson, thank you for genuinely caring for people. Civilians and soldiers of all ranks truly appreciate your presence. The team also appreciates your honesty, your forwardness, and your constant communication flow, even when it was bad information that you had to put out. You are a committed leader that enforced standards, led by example, and was engaged with the team. Again, that's at all levels. I could not have asked for a better commander and battle buddy to have served with. Blessings to you and your family continuously. To the civilians, soldiers, officers, and NCOs of Reynolds Army Health Clinic, you are the heartbeat of this organization. You provide excellent medical care to the soldiers, families, and retirees here at Fort Sill. You are crucial in ensuring soldiers are medical ready to perform their duties and to support their military missions. You are able to ensure medical readiness for our Fort Sill formations while facing many challenges that we had for ourselves. It wasn't always easy, but you continually accomplish our mission in providing patient-centered care to protect and improve the health of the FCO community. Thank you for your dedication and your hard work. And at this time, I just want to give the soldiers and the civilians of this organization a big hand because you do so much for this community. Command Sergeant Major Tatu, you are a true professional who is ready to lead this organization in continued greatness and new heights. I know that the team is left in good hands and will benefit from your leadership, and I truly mean that. And I want to leave everyone with Fires 50, number 50, number 45, which sums up my time here at Reynolds. Life is more fun with great teammates. So Team Ratch, Team Sill, Team Lawton, thank you for being great teammates. This will defend, conserving the fighting strength, fire strong. Frontier Medic 7 signing out.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Command Sergeant Major of Reynolds Army Health Clinic, Command Sergeant Major Michael Tatu.
Distinguished guests, friends, and soldiers, I stand by in front of you today humbled and honored to assume the role of the Command Sergeant Major. I want to thank God for providing his guidance during my military career. I would also especially like to thank my family for their unwavering support. Tina, Natalie, and Nicole, your sacrifice and love is immeasurable, and I am forever grateful for our team. And I love you deeply and could not do what I do daily without your love, patience, accountability, and the ability to take my armor off and enjoy family time. You've been a constant source of pride and where I can refill the reservoir when it's been depleted. I'm excited for this next part of our story as we continue to thrive in all situations as we face this together as a family. I also want to thank the outgoing Sergeant Major, Command Sergeant Major Jackson, for his leadership and dedication. I'm grateful for the opportunity to serve this unit and continue to propel the soldiers and civilians forward and to add to the outstanding legacy you've left behind. I know the service members in the Marshall Islands are getting a phenomenal leader. To the soldiers and civilians, I'm excited to join your team. I'm looking forward to working with each and every one of you. Someone wise, he's sitting in the stands, someone wise once told me that the Army puts you on orders, but God puts you on assignment. I truly believe this. 22 years ago, on this exact day, I crossed those railroad tracks and joined the Army. Flip it over. Where I remained for the next 6 years. It is not lost on me that the duty station that I learned to be a soldier and cut my teeth as an NCO is where I would assume responsibility as a Command Sergeant Major for the first time. I believe that the assignment I've been put on is to instill the pride, discipline, and the foundation of the future leaders standing in this formation, just as I was molded by outstanding leaders when I served here in the 75th Fires Brigade. I will strive to be a leader who is honest, fair, and dedicated to the mission. I will always put the soldiers and their growth and development first. Leadership is a contact sport, and it requires daily interaction. That's a Fires 50. I didn't know I had to do the numbers. I'll fix that next time, sir. It is my duty to ensure that each and every one of us is challenged daily to be 1% better by accepting our gaps and striving to close the distance. I am confident that together we can achieve great things, and I am excited to embark on this new chapter with all of you. Let's continue to work together to achieve our goals and to make a positive impact on our community wherever the nation calls us to execute our craft. This will defend, conserve the fighting strength, fire strong, combat ready care. Frontier Medic 7, signing on the net.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing and singing of the Army Song.
March along, sing a song with the army of the free. Count the brave, count the true, who have fought to victory. We're the army and proud of our name. We're the army and proudly proclaim. First to fight for the right, and to build the nation's might. And the army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done.
on, fighting till the battle's won, and the army goes rolling along. And it's high, high, hey, the army's on its way. Count off the cadence loud and strong. Wherever you go, you will always know that the army goes rolling along.
Sir, that concludes today's ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Please take a moment to wish Command Sergeant Major Jackson a fond farewell. There is a reception for Command Sergeant Major Tatu and his family in the Marori room located in the basement of the clinic. Combat ready care.